Picture this. It is 11 p.m. The temperature outside is still in the 90s. Your apartment walls are warm. The ceiling fan has stopped. The refrigerator has gone silent. The Wi-Fi is dead. And the air conditioner that was keeping your home livable has just shut off. You check your phone. The power company says restoration may not happen until tomorrow afternoon. You are in an apartment, no garage, no backyard, no gas generator, no fuel cans. No way to roll a machine outside and pretend everything is normal. Just you, your apartment, the heat, and whatever plan you made before the lights went out. This is the part most blackout advice ignores. Most emergency prep advice is written for people with houses, people with garages, people with driveways, people with sheds, people who can store fuel, run extension cords, and set up a gas generator safely outside. But millions of people do not live that way. They rent. They live upstairs, they share walls, they have one closet, maybe a balcony, maybe no balcony at all. And during extreme heat, that matters. Because when the power goes out in an apartment, you do not just lose lights. You lose cooling, you lose airflow, you lose communication, you lose refrigeration. And once the air conditioner dies, the apartment becomes a clock. This is Last Fox protocol. And today we are talking about apartment blackout prep for extreme heat. No garage, no generator, no fantasy, just a quiet, realistic system that fits in a closet and can help you stay calm when the heat starts building inside the walls. The first thing to understand is this. Apartment preparedness is not weaker than house preparedness. It is different. A homeowner may build a plan around a gas generator, but an apartment renter needs a plan built around quiet power, shade, airflow, water, neighbors, and knowing when to leave. That last part matters. The goal is not to stay in an unsafe apartment just because you bought gear. The goal is to buy time, protect the people inside, and make good decisions before heat takes those decisions away from you. So before you buy anything, choose your cooling room. Not the whole apartment. One room. The room with the fewest windows. The room that gets the least afternoon sun. The room that stays cooler longer. The room where you could gather people, pets, water, fans, lights, medicine, and phones. That room becomes your blackout room, your cooling zone. You are not trying to keep the whole apartment comfortable. You are trying to keep one space stable. Once you know the room, control the windows. Extreme heat comes through glass fast. If sunlight is pouring through your windows, your apartment heats faster. Blackout curtains help. Heavy curtains help. Reflective window covers can help if they are allowed where you live. Even keeping blinds closed during the hottest part of the day can make a difference. During the day, keep hot air out. Do not open windows just because the power is out. If the air outside is hotter than the air inside, you are letting the heat in. At night, if the outside temperature drops and your apartment layout allows it, cross ventilation can help. But during the hottest hours, shade and closed windows are your first defense. The cheapest power is the heat you never let inside. Now let us talk about fans. In extreme heat, a battery-powered fan is one of the most important tools an apartment renter can own. Not a giant fan that needs wall power, a fan that works when the outlet does not. Look for rechargeable fans, USB fans, or battery-powered fans that can run for hours. But do not just buy one and throw it in a closet. Test it, charge it. Run it on low, run it on medium, run it on high. Find out how long it lasts. In a blackout, runtime matters more than hype. High speed may feel better, but low speed may keep air moving much longer. A fan does not replace air conditioning, but it can help your body handle heat better when you combine it with shade, water, reduced movement, and a cooler room. Air movement buys time, and in a heat blackout, time is what you're fighting for. Next is water. Do not separate blackout prep from water prep. They belong together. When the AC dies, people drink more. They sweat more. They get irritated faster. They make worse decisions. A hot, thirsty person is not a calm person. A basic emergency rule is 1 gallon per person per day. But in extreme heat, that may not be enough. Aim higher if you can. Store water in smaller containers. Apartment dwellers have to think about weight and space. A huge container may look impressive, but if you cannot move it, lift it, or store it safely, it may not be the best choice. Smaller bottles, jugs, and stackable containers are easier to manage in a closet, under a bed, or in a kitchen corner. Keep some water in your cooling room. Keep some in other places. Do not store everything in one hotspot. And here is a simple trick. Keep a spray bottle filled with water in the fridge during summer. When the power goes out, that cold water can help cool your face, neck, and wrists. You can also keep small towels or bandanas damp in a sealed bag in the freezer. When the power dies, they become quick cooling tools. They will not save a dangerous situation by themselves, but they can help slow the heat and calm people down. Now let us talk about power. You cannot safely run a gas generator inside an apartment. Not in the kitchen, not in the hallway, not on the balcony, not near a window, not anywhere the fumes can reach people. Carbon monoxide is invisible. You cannot smell it, you cannot see it, and it can kill fast. So for apartment dwellers, the power plan has to be quiet and battery-based. Start with power banks, not one, several. Enough to keep phones alive, enough to run a small USB fan, enough to charge a light or radio. Keep the cords with the power banks. Put them in one pouch or one small box. A charged battery with the wrong cable is almost useless during an emergency. Next, consider a compact power station if your budget allows it. This is not a gas generator. It is a battery. It can be used indoors. Depending on the size, it can charge phones, power a fan, run a lantern, support a radio, or help with certain small devices. But be realistic. Most compact power stations will not run your air conditioner. They may not run a microwave. They may not run a full refrigerator for long. Do not buy one because the box looks powerful. Buy one based on what you actually need to run: phone, fan, light, radio, medical device if needed. That is your list. Then check the wattage and runtime. Test it before the emergency. A power station you have never tested is not a plan, it is a guess. For lighting, skip the fantasy and think practical. Headlamps are better than flashlights because they keep your hands free. LED lanterns are good for shared spaces. Avoid depending on candles during heat events. Candles add fire risk, they add heat, they create smoke. And in a small apartment with pets, kids, or tired people, they can become dangerous fast. Light should make the apartment safer, not hotter and more dangerous. Now we need to talk about the exit plan. This is the part people skip. Gear is not always enough. Fans, water, power banks, curtains, and cooling towels can buy time. But if your apartment keeps getting hotter, if someone becomes sick, if the outage is long, or if you have a vulnerable person in the home, the safest plan may be leaving. Know where you would go: a cooling center, a library, a community center, a mall, a relative's home, a friend's home, a hotel, a vehicle with air conditioning. If you have fuel in it, it's safe. Do not wait until the room is dangerously hot to figure this out. Look up cooling centers before summer. Save addresses offline. Print them if you can. Know the route. If you have a car, keep the gas tank above half during the hottest months. If you do not have a car, this is where neighbors matter. Know who you could call. Know who might check on you. Know who may need you to check on them. In a heat blackout, community can matter more than another gadget. Introduce yourself to one or two neighbors before an emergency. Exchange numbers if it feels appropriate. Know who has a car. Know who is elderly. Know who has kids. Know who might need help. This costs nothing, and it can be life-saving. Now picture the outage again. It's 11 p.m. The AC dies. The apartment goes quiet. The heat starts building inside the walls. But this time you are not scrambling. You close the curtains. You move to the cooling room. You bring water. You turn on one fan. You switch phones to low power mode. You use one lantern. You keep the fridge closed. You know where the power banks are. You know which neighbor to contact. You know where you would go if the apartment becomes unsafe. That is the difference. Not fear. Preparedness. Not a garage full of equipment. A plan that fits your life. So start this weekend. Pick your cooling room. Charge your fan. Charge your power banks. Fill water bottles. Freeze a few bottles if you have space. Put your cords in one bag. Find your nearest cooling center. Meet one neighbor. Fix one weak spot. You do not need a garage to be prepared. You do not need a gas generator to have a plan. You need a quiet system that works before the heat takes over. I will leave a simple apartment blackout checklist in the description so you can build your setup step by step. And if you want practical survival planning without the fantasy, subscribe to Last Fox Protocol. Because when the lights go out and the AC goes silent, the people who plan small will last longer than the people who planned too late.